All right, good morning. Welcome to the PTNI's Daily Show. Happy Thursday morning. Hope your day is off to a great start. Here with a little bit late start on the podcast. My name is Alan. I'm happy to be your host today. Currently have the pleasure of serving as the Chief Operating Officer here at ICE and a faculty member in our Fitness Athlete Division, live on YouTube, live on Instagram. Thank you for listening on the podcast on delay. We're happy to have you. Here on Leadership Thursday, we talk all things practice and business ownership and management. It's Leadership Thursday. First things first, that means it's Gut Check Thursday. This week we have some interval work, some really leg-heavy interval work. We have 5 rounds for time, 100-meter run, 15 goblet squats with either a 50-pound dumbbell or a 35-pound dumbbell, right into 50 feet of overhead dumbbell lunging with that single dumbbell. We're going to hold it at 25 feet in one hand, switch hands for the other 25 feet, and then drop the dumbbell and head back out the door for another 100-meter run. And we rest 2 minutes after every one of the 5 rounds. Ideally, you're getting done in about 2 minutes so that you have one-to-one work to rest. Going to get very leg heavy. I will not be doing this workout this week. We did something very similar yesterday. We did a workout with a bunch of wall balls and double dumbbell front rack lunging. So my legs are toast. So I will not be participating this week. But if you do, make sure you tag us in your time lapse, tag ICE Physio, and make sure you use the hashtag GutCheckThursday. We'd love to see those come in. Courses coming your way. We have so many. We have 63 courses between now and Christmas. Most of our divisions are about fully booked for 2023. We have some divisions booking into 2024. So plenty of courses for you all to jump into. If you're looking to host a course, it's better that you reach out sooner rather than later because probably by the end of the year, all divisions will be booking into 2024, and they'll be starting to get quite full for 2024 as well. So we have a ton of courses coming up. Next weekend, we have our first dry needling course ever, lower quadrant dry needling. That will be with Paul down in Florida. That's the weekend of 1 October. That same weekend, we have Fitness Athlete Live out in Salt Lake City, Utah with Mitch. We have Extremity Management in Simi Valley, California with Mark. We have Lumbar Spine with Jeff Moore in Bergen, New Jersey. We have Total Spine Thrust with Justin Dunaway near Dallas, Texas. And we have Jordan Berry up in Vancouver for Cervical Spine Management. We have many, many more courses again between now and Christmas. So make sure you check out ptnice.com and check out the courses coming your way, both live and online. I do want to mention our Warrior WOD campaign. Every year, ICE gives away $10,000 to a charity that we think is doing great to improve areas of diversity and inclusion. This year, we've chosen Warrior WOD. They use functional fitness and nutrition to help veterans combat their PTSD. So we actually, we were doing a 2-to-1 match campaign with Warrior WOD, but we had another organization step in, and we're now doing a 3-to-1 match campaign with Warrior WOD. So every dollar you give to Warrior WOD between now and the end of September will get matched 3-to-1. So consider checking out Warrior WOD. They're co-branding Gut Check Thursday with us every week, helping us design Gut Check Thursday. So make sure you give them a look and consider a 3-to-1 donation for Warrior WOD. So let's get into today's topic, ignore and outperform. If you're a Jocko fan, a Jocko Willink fan, he's a big person in the leadership space, retired Navy SEAL. He has a leadership organization where he teaches leadership courses. He has plenty of books. He has a podcast. He's pretty much everywhere if you're kind of in the business space. And he is a big fan of this concept of ignore and outperform. And I want to dig into this from kind of the PT and PT clinic ownership side of what does ignore and outperform mean for us as physical therapists, as clinic owners. So the inspiration for this episode comes from a question we get very often here at ICE. Very often, we get an Instagram message or an email with a screenshot of somebody who is saying maybe older adults shouldn't deadlift, or you shouldn't let people squat with their knees over their toes. And the question is always, what would you say to this person, huh? If you had to respond to this person, Alan, Jeff, Mitch, Christina, what would you say? And we usually say we wouldn't say anything to this person, right? I would tell that person nothing. And we'll get into why that is in a second. But usually the response is, why are you giving that person your time, right? Why are you spending any sort of your time arguing on the internet with strangers? We really have no legal obligation as individuals of the public or even as individual healthcare providers to make sure that other healthcare providers or even lay people know the current research. Here at ICE, obviously it's our job to do that. When you come to our courses, we're here to show you current best practice based on both clinical experience and what the evidence currently is saying that we should probably be doing. But as an individual clinician, as an individual citizen of the public, it is not our job to make sure that people understand the right and wrong way to do various things in medicine, in life, or not. So and that question comes in a lot. What would you say to that person? And now, many years experienced, I would say nothing to that person. I wouldn't even consider responding to that. You'll often see inflammatory stuff posted on our own social media posts that we simply don't respond to, right? It's clear that somebody is there for an argument. They're there to pick a fight. And it's not really our job to spend a bunch of time trying to convince that person that we are right and they are wrong. We're here to share information. We're here to share the current best practice evidence. And I think that's what you all should do, both in the clinic with patients, with your coworkers, and with other physical therapists and healthcare providers in the general community. But you really shouldn't waste a lot of time trying to win an internet argument. And I have a confession to make. I used to be that person. Circa 2015 on Twitter, you can probably go back to my Twitter history and find me getting into all sorts of fights with people and trying to cite resources and tell people they're wrong and they're on the wrong side of the evidence and this is right and you are wrong. And I'm here to tell you, many years removed from that, I have changed nobody's mind that way, right? It's a complete waste of my time. It went nowhere. It caused me a lot of stress and it did absolutely nothing to move any needle anywhere forward. So I have a lot of wasted time behind me. I love the quote from Eleanor Roosevelt: great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss current events, small minds discuss and argue with people. So I think that goes a long way with this topic of getting involved when we see people post stuff that we don't agree with. And we think, what is my rebuttal going to be? I'm going to make an Instagram reel making a rebuttal about this. I'm going to make a post. I'm going to email them. I'm going to contact their employer. I'm going to try to create an ad campaign in their city that says something to the contrary. All this time and money we waste trying to make people understand that we are right and they are wrong is really just that, a waste. And so we need to think about what can we do when we enter these situations where people tell us that what we're doing is wrong, when people maybe copy what our business is doing, what our clinic is doing. They try to mimic what we're doing. They literally maybe even copy our social media posts almost word for word, or sometimes exactly word for word. What do we do? How do we get back at those people? And we don't, right? That's the concept of ignore and outperform. We are just going to keep doing what we've always been doing. I love the question that I don't get asked very often anymore because it's kind of just in the back of my mind now automatically, of something Jeff Moore, our CEO here at ICE, has often asked me whenever I've said, I'm going to do this. And his question to me has always been, is this the best use of your time to advance the profession of physical therapy and by nature change the American healthcare system in a way that results in both higher quality and quantity of care to the American public to combat the chronic disease epidemic and chronic pain epidemic that we have? And if you ask yourself that question in your head, the answer is always no. The answer to arguing with somebody on the internet, with making a rebuttal post on social media, getting into an actual in-person argument or debate, or flying to a conference to argue with somebody in person, the answer to that question is always no. It will do absolutely nothing to do any of that. It will do absolutely nothing to advance anything anywhere. Like I said, it will bump no needle in any way that we measure progress across our personal or professional lives. So what do? It's so simple, and it's the hardest thing to do because often these posts, these copycat type people really get under our skin. They can often make it personal. There are some big social media personalities. You've probably seen them, the manual therapy sucks people who try to call your state board and get your license suspended because you're using manual therapy. So it does get really personal. That being said, you really have to dig deep and you have to keep working. By doing what you're already doing, there's a reason people are coming after you. You are going against the grain. You are creating a product that is worthy of being copied. The worst thing you can do is stop working on that and begin working on rebutting these other people. You need to keep working on what you're already doing. You have a great product. Obviously, people are trying to copy it. Stick with that. If you are killing it in the clinic, if you have more patients than you can possibly see, if your phone's ringing off the hook, if people want to come work for you, keep working on your business, right? Keep doing what you're doing, which probably is treating patients really well, helping them meet their goals, having a fun experience when you're in your clinic so they can tell other people about you. Keep doing that. Keep working. While other people are talking, you are working. While they're thinking media posts to break you down, you are working. When they're talking to people, they don't agree with what you're doing, you are working. You're making that business, that product, that much better. You're spreading it to that many more people. And if you just keep working, you will continue to outpace all of those people. As you continue to win, your opponent will continue to slowly lose. They will continue to use more and more resources, time and money to try and tear you down without building their own product on the other end, to a point eventually where they may even go out of business, where their voice just fades so far into the background that they become irrelevant. And all you had to do was ignore them and outperform. Continue working on your product. Folks that copy you are shifting their focus away from creating their own unique thing, and people over time will realize that. Now, yes, in the short term, if I copy what somebody is doing, I'm going to have some short-term success. But again, I won't have long-term success. And keep in mind what people see about what we're doing in our businesses, in our clinics, with whatever else we might have going on with our life. They can only see so much of that from afar, from social media, from hearing about it from maybe a former client or a friend or a person in the community. They can only see so much of that. From what you see on Health HQ social media, you see that we have people lifting barbells and getting their heart rate up. And we have a squat rack in our lobby and an assault bike and a treadmill. And yes, you could certainly put a squat rack and a treadmill and a assault bike in your lobby as well and copy what we're doing, but it's a little bit more than that, right? What you don't see on social media is that we don't have any back-end staff, that our company is run almost completely by automation and by artificial intelligence and by systems that basically run themselves. We don't have any back-end staff. We don't have any back-end staff costs. That means we can pay our physical therapists more, on average, twice as much as the average physical therapist makes in America. That is something you don't see on social media, but that is why our success is what it is. And that's something that you can't copy because you can't see it, especially if you can't mimic those back-end systems. You'll never be able to truly copy the product 100%, and those people will never have 100% of success as you. And again, you will slowly outpace them over time. So keep working, ignore and outperform. The last point I want to make here is, if you're wondering if what somebody is doing, it can seem often that really loud people who get on Instagram and scream and yell and make all these videos can seem like that is success. But really, when we step back, when we're being objective, what is the true measure of success of any business? Growth over time. Is the business growing? Is the business from 10 years ago 10 times the business it is now? From 5 years ago, is it 5 times the business it is now? Was it one person screaming on Instagram 5 years ago? Is it still one person screaming on Instagram now, or is there a team of people screaming? What you'll find is 99.99999% of the time, it's still that one person screaming, right? There has been no growth at all. If anything, there's probably been a little bit less growth, because over time, that copycat mentality gets boring and people tend to tune it out. So yes, it can be upsetting that people are copying you, but is it still the same person? Likewise, is it just the same person working in the clinic that might be trying to copy what you're doing in town? Or are they growing? Have they grown from one person to 5 people, from one person to 10 people in 3 locations? So look at the actual growth of the business. And those are the people that you should be thinking about following. Those are the people that I follow. Those are the people I think, wow, look how far they've come in 5 years, in 10 years. Whatever they're doing, I want to be doing stuff like that. And probably instead of trying to break them down, I want to figure out what they're doing and work alongside them, because clearly they know what they're doing and they have a really good product. So think about, what is the growth over time? Growth, of course, only comes from working on your business, not breaking down other people's ideas and businesses. I love what Matt Frazier says. You know who Matt Frazier is? 5 times CrossFit Games champion. He has this quote that I love. Nothing pisses people off that are trying to keep you down more than moving on and being successful without your heart skipping a beat. Success is the ultimate revenge. I love that. Success is the ultimate revenge. Again, ignore and outperform. Continue working. Work, work, work. Make your product better. Spread it to more people, and don't worry about those people out there who might have posted something wrong on the internet. There are plenty of people who are wrong on the internet. That will be true until the internet is no longer a thing. So just think about that. I love the example. We had a business in town that opened up a year ago, a functional fitness business. a boot camp style business. When they opened up, we went in, hey, we're so glad you're in town. We would love to come in and work out with you. We'd love to do some workshop with you all. It's so great to have you. It's so great to get people in this community moving. And they said, no way. We know who you are. We know you are here because you are injuring people at your CrossFit gym and you have physical therapy next door so you can get them better. We know your scheme and we don't want you to do it here. Ouch, that's personal. Now, we could have gone two ways with that. We could have gone, well, our job is to outmarket that. Let's spend money that says, don't go there, come here. Let's spend money that says, this is safe. Let's spend money that says, we don't just hurt people to fix them next door at physical therapy. Or we could go the other way. We could just continue what we're already doing, which is helping people move better, get involved maybe in fitness for the first time, and take the high road, right? Like Michelle Obama says, they take the low road, we take the high. Take the high road. Continue working on your business. And it's not surprising that when I looked a week ago, out of curiosity, that functional fitness business is out of business. In less than a year, they are gone. So again, ignore and outperform. Success is the ultimate revenge. Keep working on your product and you will not have to worry about whether people are going to copy and overtake you, because by working on your product, that you are getting better while they're trying to copy yours or break yours down. They are not working on theirs and they are continually falling behind your pace. So keep working. So takeaways today. There's very little to be gained from getting involved in 99.99% of the arguments and discussions on the internet. Ask yourself, is this the best use of my time to advance the profession of physical therapy, to change the health landscape of the American healthcare system and offer both higher quality and quantity of care to the American people? Again, the answer, if you really step back, is almost always going to be no. So when it's no, move on, move on. Getting bogged down by what other people are saying and doing about you, your business, or your profession does nothing to help you improve your profession, your business, or your personal life either. So again, ignore and outperform. Continue to work like you always have. You'll continue to win. Your opponent will continue to slowly lose, sometimes to the point of completely going out of business. But all you had to do was focus on what you're doing, taking care of the folks who work with you in your business and continuing to grow your business by taking care of your customers. It's really that simple. And ask yourself, what is the growth of this business I might be looking at, or my own business? Have I grown in the past year, the past 3 years, the past 5 years, the past 10 years? If the answer is yes, you know you're on the right track. When you're evaluating if what somebody else is doing is the right thing to do, look at their growth. Is it the same person 10 years ago as it was now? Or is it 150 people now when it was one person 10 years ago? Growth is the ultimate indicator of business success, and success is the best revenge on those folks who try to tear you down. So free your mind. Don't spend so much time. Don't spend any time answering those comments, trying to weigh in on those discussions, trying to get the best 7 articles you possibly can and say, look at these 7 articles. Look how wrong you are. Just let it go. Continue to focus on your practice. Continue to focus on your business. Continue to focus on your business development and taking care of your people, and the success and the growth will come. And that's ultimately the best revenge on those folks. So I hope this was helpful. Think about that the next time you reach out with how would you respond to this type email? The answer, of course, is we wouldn't, right? Ignore and outperform. So I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to talk about compression intolerant low back pain in the fitness athlete. I hope you all have a fantastic Thursday. Have fun with gut check if you do it today, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye, everybody.